So welcome back, guys, after 1 week. And right, yeah, and in this week we are going to develop few real-time applications. Starting today with the employee portal. Tomorrow we'll discuss Gmail registration process. Day after tomorrow we'll discuss library management system, and then we will discuss right to web portal. I mean that blog management system. So four applications I have planned for this week, and each day I'm going to develop one application. And the application what we are going to develop, it is going to be based on ASP.NET Core MVC, Entity Framework Core, and the backend database is going to be SQL Server. So now what we are going to do is we are going to develop one employee portal management system, right, for the admin, or you can say for the HR employee. So what exactly we are going to develop? We are going to provide some right user-friendly interfaces for creating a new employee, for updating the employee information, for removing or deleting the employee, for verifying the employee details, and right, and one listing page is also is going to be there, right, which will provide you all the employees information in a single page, right? So this is going to be our index page, or you can say list page. So in the list page, first of all, we need to provide one button. You can say create new employee. When you click on this button, it is going to create a new, right, what I can say, guys, we have started the recording. Yes. So in this case, you can see it is going to create it is going to open the create employee page where you can provide the employee information, and that employee is going to be created. And then also, right, whatever all existing employees that what we can fetch from the database with some filter conditions. So here you can source the employee by their name. You can source the employee by their department. Department can be your IT, HR, sales, admin, HR, all these things. You can source the employee by their employee type, like permanent, contractual, temporary, intern, right? You can also select the number of items you want to display in the page. For example, here I'm showing 5. You can select this to 10, 3, 15, right? Whatever. This is going to be a drop down list. So these three are going to be drop down list. And when you apply this filter button, so whatever filter criteria you provided, based on this filter criteria, it is going to display the data, something like this. And for each employee, we are provided us with three buttons. One, the first button is going to display the complete employee details in a different page. The second option, right, or you can see when you click on this edit button, it is going to repopulate the employee data in a edit form where you can modify the data. And when you click on this delete button, it is going to open the delete page where it will ask you, are you sure you want to delete this employee? And there are two options, yes, no. If you click on yes, that employee is going to be deleted. If you click no, then it will go back to this employee list page. So now let us proceed and see what are all the features, right pages. So this is definitely going to be our index page. Then this is going to be our create employee page. Right here, we are asking to enter the full name, email, what is the department, right? And again, in each department, we can have different designation, right? So designation in the sense, guys, remember, for example, IT. In IT department, there are might be different kind of software engineer. For HR department, there might be different kind of HR right engineers. So for each department, the corresponding designated drop down list is going to be populated. What exactly it means? Now, whatever the department I selected for that particular department, what all designations are available in the database, that is going to be populated dynamically. So if I change the department, then this drop down list value is also going to be changed automatically. Then what is the higher date? Well, we will provide some date time picker. What is the date of birth? Again, it is going to be date time picker. This is employee ID. This is going to be one drop down list where you need to select what type of employee is this. And then you have to provide that gender option and what is the salary. So these are the things what we are taking to create a new employee. And when you click on this option button, right, this new employee is going to be created, and after created, right, it will be redirected to this index page. In the index page, we are going to provide one message that one new employee is created with so name and so ID, right? So this is our create employee page, right? And once the employee is created, right, you can see this message also we are going to display. So this is right. Actually, here I'm showing this message, but in real time, if you want, you can also send this right welcome message to the newly joined employee. What is right to their personal email ID or whatever information you have taken at the time of right onboarding, you can send this information, right? So here you can right, go back to the employee list, and here also you can create a new employee. So whatever the employee information provided, those information it is showing here. So then this is going to my edit, right, details page. For example, in this case, you can see there are three options. One is view details, one is edit, and one is delete. So now if I click on this view details, then what page it is going to open? It is going to open this page. And in this page, it is showing, right, all the employee information, what is the employee ID, name, designation, all these things. And then it is also provided with the options to update this employee information. For example, you find that this employee information is not correct. So you can update. Once you click on this update, the update page is going to be open. So no, you think that no, I want to delete this employee. Then you can click on this delete button, which is going to open the delete page. And you see that this information is fine. Now you again want to go back to the employee listing page, then you can click on this back to list button. Now, if you click on this edit button here, or you click on this delete button here, right? Otherwise, you can also have the same edit and delete button in the listing page, right? So now let's see what happens when you click on the edit button. So once you click on the edit button, then it is going to open the edit page. So this is going to be my edit page. So this is going to my edit page. Here you can see whatever the all employee information that is pre-populated, and the employee ID, it is going to be stored in the right hidden field, which you cannot see here, but that is already there. When you submit, then that hidden field is also going to be submitted to the server. And whatever the data already taken right at the time of creation, those data also pre-populated here. Here, if you want, you can also modify the data. And once you click on the update button, this data is going to be updated in the database. Now, if you click on the delete button, this page is going to be open. It will ask you, are you sure you want to delete this employee information? If you click on the delete button, this data is going to be deleted from the database, and one message, right? It is going to display that this employee is deleted. Similarly, in this case, if update operation completed successfully, it will also display one message that the update operation completed successfully. So this is what we are going to develop. Anyone having any query, right? What is the flow and architecture, or you can say what are the different pages we are going to develop? Is that clear? Clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. So now let us proceed and see how we can develop this application in our app, right? In our case. So basically, what we are going to do, we are going to use ASP.NET Core MVC framework. We are going to use Entity Framework Core as the right, what I can say, database. uh, data access technology, you can say it is the ORM, and we are going to use SQL Server database. So if you are going to develop this as MVC application, so let us proceed and do this thing. So first of all, what I need to do, I need to create a new ASP.NET Core MVC project. Open Visual Studio, click on this create new button. So here, search for the MVC project template. This is the MVC project template, model view controller. Click on the next button, provide the project name. So this project already created in this folder. I've already created. So let me go ahead and select a different folder. So in this case, this is going to be the projects folder. And now click on the next button. So here, click on the create button. So this should create the ASP.NET Core MVC project. So once the project is created, as we are going to deal with the Entity Framework Core and SQL Server database. So for this purpose, we need to install two packages. What are the packages we need to install? We need to install these two packages. So this is the data provider for SQL Server. So let me first install the SQL Server data provider for Entity Framework Core, and then I will install the tools package which is required for the migration. So next one is the migration package. So this is the migration which will allow us to generate the migration file, apply the migration file so that our database and our application code is going to be in sync. So once this is done, right, next what we need to do, we need to start developing. So for our application, right, what we need? So for our application, we need one table, right, to store the employee type master data. Employee type means what are the data? The employee type means it can be permanent, right? Temporary, contractual, intern. Then we need to store the department data. So department can be your IT, admin, HR, sales, right? For any organization. We are also going to store the designation. Designation means in each department. For IT, let assume you are going to have, right, a software engineer, right, right, senior software engineer, right, team lead, different designations are going to be there. Similarly, HR, you can have a multiple designation for HR department also. So and also we are going to create the employees table. So employee means this is going to store the employee data. So like employee ID, employee name, salary designation, department, employee type, when he hiring date, salary, all these informations we are going to store. So one employee can belongs to one employee type, one employee can belongs to one department, and whatever department we selected, this employee must belongs to one of the designation of that department. Clear what is our table structure going to be?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, let us proceed and implement this thing right one by one. So let me first create the master table. So then let me go ahead and create one table with the name employee type. So basically going to store the employee master data. So this is going to my employee type. It is going to store what is the employee type ID. So ID, name is active, whether this employee type is active. For example, currently we are not taking any intern. So you can make this as inactive so that when the employee is going to be created, there is no chance the user, right, the admin can select employee type intern. Similarly, right, whichever type you don't want, you can make that inactive. So this is going to be my list of employee. For each employee type, there can be multiple employees. In permanent, there are multiple employees. Within the temporary, there can be also like a list of employees who are working on the temporary contractual intern. So like this. So next, what I need to do, I need to create the department entity. So in each department, we can have multiple employees. So each employee belongs to a one department, and in one department, we can have multiple employees. So between department and employees, it is going to be one to many. So each department ID, name, active, right? And in each department, we can have multiple designations, right? It is not like that some right different designation you can put here and there. So whatever the department you provided for that particular department, what are all allowed designation? So that is what I'm going to store here. And again, for each department, we can have a list of employees. Then the designation table, so which is going to store the designation details. But here, here the designation is going to be related with your department. So in each department, whatever all designations are there, that is going to store here. Department ID is going to be the foreign key, right? And here we are storing ID and a name. And this is active is common, right, in each entity. So which is going to mark, right, that soft delete functionality. Then next, what I'm going to create, I'm going to create my employee entity. So let me go ahead and create this entity. So this is going to my employee entity. In employee entity, whatever all employee information you want to store, that is what I'm going to store. So in this case, you can see this is my ID, which is going to be my primary key identity column. Full name I'm going to store, email I'm going to store, department ID I'm going to store, designation ID, hire date, date of birth, employee type ID, then gender, and then salary. So these are the information that what I'm going to store. And right, as per your requirement, you can increase and decrease the number of properties. You can also add another table called addresses where you can store the address information. That enhancement you can do right as per your requirement. So this is going to be my employee table. Clear, guys? Till now, clear or
Yes.
not?
Yep.
Okay. Now what I'm going to do is, right, I'm going to create two views, right? Right, for example, right, in this case, if you look at this, this is one view. So for this view, whatever the data required, for this view, whatever the data required, I'm going to create one view model. And similarly, for this create and update view, I'm also going to create one view model, right? So two view model I'm going to create. One is for the list page, another one is for the right employee details page. And whichever view model I'm going to use here, right? That same view model you can also use here to display the employee details. So let us proceed and use, right, or you can say create the view model. So let me start with the employee list view model. So again, view model means we need to create this view model in a separate folder. Let me create a folder named view models in the project root directory. So add new folder. The folder name is going to be view models. And within this view models folder, let me go ahead and create this employee list view model. So employee list view model means this view model is going to be used to represent the list of employees. That is the index page, or you can see the list page. So in this case, what all information is required? Definitely you need the employees information. Apart from this employees data, what else you need? Let us try to observe. So first of all, you need this department drop-down list data or not. So whatever all department are there, that filter condition I'm going to provide. The list of a department, the list of employees, how many items you want to display per page, which page number, that right, what is the page size, page number, and this department employee list. So all this information you need or not,
Yes.
right? So for this purpose, not only I'm going to display this employees, but also I'm going to add the additional information, total pages. So why this total pages is required? Because for this drop down list. So total how many pages are there? Accordingly, this first, previous, next, last, bottom is going to be enable and disable. For this right pagination, we need this total pages. This search term is nothing but you can consider this is the text box. Suppose you want to filter the employee by name. So you know the employee name and you want to see that employee information. You can provide that employee name here and click on the filter button. That employee information is going to be displayed here. The next, you can see the selected department and the selected employee ID. For example, you provided some selected employees and a selected department and you click on the filter button. So when it display the data, so whatever all filter condition you provided, that filter condition should be here selected automatically. So whatever all the selected options, I mean selected department, selected employee type, that's what I'm going to store here. Selected department ID, selected employee type ID. So then what exactly it means? It means what is the current page number, which data you are showing here. So for that purpose, I'm going to take this page number. For example, in this case, you can see currently it is page number 1. When I click on the next button, the page number become 2. Again, when I click on the next button, it will make a request to the server by passing what is the total page size, what is the page number. Accordingly, you will fetch the data and it will display here. That means what is the page number, that what we need to pass, right, while you are right fetching the data from the database. Page size, definitely that page size whatever we selected here, that is what the number of data it is going to return from the server, and that is going to be displayed here. Again, you can see the list of a department and the list of employees. So in this case, these two things are going to be provided the selected options, right? What is the selected option? If the user doesn't provide the selected option, then also we need to pass this thing. So this is only, so here this department means it is going to store the list of a department. This is going to store the list of employees. And from this list of a department, which one is selected, that selected ID it is going to hold. For this list of employees, which one is selected, that selected employee ID it is going to store. So this is optional. If you selected, that selected value will be there. If you do not select it, they are going to be null. In that case, all right, what is the default option in the department that is going to be shown? For example, you see all the department, all employee type. So from this all department, if you select IT and click on the filter, then it is going to display the IT department employees data. And at the same time, when it render the data, this IT department is going to be selected here automatically. And that is possible because of this selected department IT. So if this is not clear at the moment, right, how it is going to be work, why we are having different collection and why we are having this separate integer IDs, definitely I'm going to show you, right, once I implement the views and the controllers. Clear?
Excuse me. Pranay, this is employee list view model. Please, can I see the employee list? This is
Yes,
view
what
model.
is
Can I see the list?
so this is the view
Don't you
model.
have,
What?
what about the list?
Sorry,
The employee list. What is the difference now between the view model and the employee list?
did you join this session for the first time?
No, I just want to, I'm just trying to imagine what you picked
Just
here.
tell me,
I
you just
know
tell me what is a view model?
that is the one you want to show in the view. You want to show to the,
So whatever
uh,
data, so you just tell me, so whatever all data required for a view, that data we need to put inside a view model, and that view model we need to pass to the view. So this is, see here, employee is the model which is going to hold the data in the database. But for the view, I cannot use this employee model. If I pass this employee model, then whatever all properties I'm defining, that is going to be available. But what about the other things? Total pages, search term, department, page number. So this information is not available in the employee model. So I cannot pass that list of employee to the view. Why? If I'm passing, then as we have already discussed, a single view can have only a single model. And in that case, if the model is list of employee, now how I can pass the other related information? So for this purpose, what I'm doing, I'm creating a class. So whatever name you want, you can give. So there is no meaning that why view model, why employee list. If you provide the class name as ABC XYZ, that is fine. But here, as this view model is going to render the employee list page, and as it is going to be specifically used for a view, I'm providing the name like this employee list view model. Right? There is no specific reason why I'm providing the name. But here,
I know, no. Prana, what I mean is, the selected department ID, which ones here are
sorry.
not mapped to the list. Which of these properties are
Fine.
not
So
mapped?
just tell me, what is this? This is
It's
the
a
model.
list. Yeah,
How
yeah.
the model will know? How the model will know that which one is selected? That is going to be decided by the view. When we are providing these departments and when we are providing this selected department ID, the view having all the department, the view know which one to be selected. That is the job of a view. How it is going to know? What we are going to discuss, right? That is the reason why I have discussed. So once I create the controller and view, then you will understand what is the right actual use of a select department ID and employee ID, and what is the use of a department and employee type.
Okay, thank you.
It is what I have already told you. If you're not getting clarity what is the use of these four properties, then just wait some time, right? Once you create the view and the controller, you will get the clarity. Clear, guys?
Yeah, clear.
Anyone else having any question? Is that clear, guys? Everybody?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So next, what I need to do, right? Next, I need to create another view model that is going to be employee create update view model. So this is for the list phase. Then I'm going to create another view model for the employee create and update view. Right. So when I'm going to create a new employee, whenever I'm going to update an existing employee, so for that purpose, I'm going to create this view model. So let us proceed and understand this model also. So definitely, so this view model is very identical to your employee. So whatever the data required for creating a new employee, so by taking those information, I'm creating this view model. So ID, full name, email, department ID, designation ID, right? What is the hire date? What is the date of birth? Employee type ID, gender, salary, and also, right, in the view, in the create and update view, I want to show the list of department designations, employee types. So this collection is also there, right? And apart from this, guys, remember here what I'm doing, I'm creating some custom validation. So custom validation, you can see for the hire date and for the date of birth. So whenever I'm providing the hire date, so that higher date, is that going to be a future date or it should be current date or less than the current date? Higher date is it possible that higher date is going to be a future date?
No.
Yes or no?
No.
Yes.
Yeah, but it depends.
No, it should not be depend, because if you don't know, all right, how you can create, right, how you can onboard one employee and where you don't know whether that employee is going to join your company or not. Because nowadays it's very common. Until and unless the employee didn't join the organization means he is not your employee. Why? Because
Yeah,
suppose you were
okay.
right, they make an entry into the database, and later at the next day you got the mail that I'm not going to join your organization. So what will happen?
So it's data now. today.
right? So basically, whenever you are onboarding the employee, that can be the present date, or sometimes what happens, the employee join 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, he comes to the office. Later on, the HR team, right, going to make an entry into the database. So the employee hire date can be the current date or the past date, but not the future date. Coming to this date of birth, right? The date of birth means whatever we are going to enter, it should be between 18 and 60. It should be between 18 and 60. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Right? So for this purpose, right, to this validation, right, this higher date, this date of birth validation, so there is no built-in data annotation attribute provided. So for this purpose, what I have done here, I have created two custom data annotation attribute. You can see validate higher date and validate date of birth. So these two methods I have created, and this two method will come into the picture for validating this higher date and date of birth. Rest of the things are going to be common. So what name you want to display, whether this is required, what type of a data type, I mean, for a date picker, if you want to display date picker, you have to specify the date type. But for this custom validation, right, custom requirement, I have created two methods. So let us understand this thing. So this is my validate higher date. So here what I'm checking, if higher date doesn't have value, so definitely it is a required field. And that validation is already handled by the required attribute, right? So then the second one is if the date is greater than current date, then higher date cannot be the future date. And if this two validation is successful, right, then we have to return success. So when we return success, that is validation success. Similarly, this is validated date of birth. So first of all, what is the minimum date of birth and what is the maximum? Minimum is what is the current, right, today, whatever the today's year, I have to minus 60, and maximum is minus 18. That means whatever the employee entered the date, that should be in between this min and the max. If it is not between 16 and 80, then he is not a eligible employee for your organization. You can increase this 60 to 70, whatever, right? But most of the time, it is going to be between 16 and 18, right? As per our Indian right law. Clear?
So above 60 is not employed in India.
Yeah. In India, it must be between 18 and 60. You cannot
Oh,
work for a company if you are under 18, and also you cannot work for a company if you above 60, right? This is for the government,
strange.
but yes, right? If some companies, right, they are allowing employee to work more time. So you can increase and decrease as per your requirement, right? So now the rest of the things, right, whatever we discussed in the employee entity, the same, right, properties are also going to be there. So these three properties you can see: department, designation, employee type. Yes. So while creating the employee, we also need to provide the drop-down list so that the admin, right, or the HR people, they can select the appropriate department, designation, and employee type. So this is going to be my second view model, which I'm going to use inside my create and update view. Clear?
Yeah.
Right. Next, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create my DB context class. So basically, so right click, add a new folder, that is data. And in the data folder, create one class file, application DB context, application DB context. So inside this data file, right, inside this class, let me copy. So here what I'm going to do is, I'm going to provide some, right, initial dummy data. So dummy data means some master data and some data, so that I can show you the page appropriately, right? So here you can see I'm right, I'm putting this DB set properties, for DB set properties. I mean, how many database table? Four tables. One is for employees, one is for departments, next one is for designation, and the last one is for the employee types. Then here, what I'm doing, one more thing you have to remember, right? In the employee entity, right? So there is a relationship with the, right, what I can say, designation entity, and designation entity is also related to the department entity. So basically, right, to avoid the circular path means when there is multiple, right, relationship between one and the other entity. So you have to set the cascade delete path. So here, what I'm doing here, so for the employee entity, I'm setting that a designation ID. as the foreign key in the designation table. And when the employee is deleted, that corresponding data is also going to be deleted. So next, what I'm doing here, right, this is optional. If you want, you can set this one. I mean, what will happen to the foreign key entities when the primary key is deleted? That what I'm doing here. So next, what I'm doing here, you can observe this is the seed employee. So basically, whatever all different types of employees your company having, like permanent, temporary, contract, and intern. So I'm setting the department IT, HR, sales, and admin. I'm setting the designation, right, for the department IT1. Department IT1 means which department IT. For IT department, what are all allowed designations: software developer, system administrator, network engineer. For the department 2, that is the HR. So here you can say HR specialist, HR manager, TSE, right? Then for the department 3 sales, you can see you are having three designation. And for the admin department, you can also have some different designation. So basically what I have done here, I'm inserting some employee type, some department, and for each department, I'm going to insert some designation here. So whatever the department I selected in the UI, the corresponding designation should only be visible, not the other designations. Clear?
Yes.
Then I'm inserting some employees data. So you can say ID, full name, email, right? Then this is department ID, designation ID, hire date, so date of birth, employee type ID, gender, salary. So some dummy data I have inserted so that I can show you, right, the index page with the pagination. Clear? So that is the reason why I have inserted this dummy data. Even, right, if you want, you can also create the right, some initial or some testing data through the UI. That is also what we are going to discuss. Clear, guys? What is what we are doing here? We are basically inserting some initial dummy data for our application. Clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to develop the service class. Service class basically what exactly it means? It means, so here we have defined the entity, here we have created the DB context. But using these entities and using this DB context, I need to perform the database CRUD operation. And for this purpose, right, I don't want to perform the database CRUD operation directly on the controller layer. So what I'm doing here, I'm creating a service layer. And inside the service layer, I'm going to create one class file, that is the employee service. So this is going to deal with the employee CRUD operation, and whatever the master data you want to retrieve for the employee operation, all these things I'm going to implement inside this layer. So let me go ahead and create this one. So here you can see this is my ready get employee method. Here I'm returning two things. What is one? The list of employees, and the second one, the total count. So this total count might be 10, and here you might be returning 5 employees. Why? Now total count is different, number of employees to be written, that is going to be different. Why it is different? For example, here I have provided the department ID value, only department ID I provided. For this department ID, there are 10 employees, or let assume there are 100 employees, and here you provided the page size as 10. So what exactly it means? Here total count is going to be 100. Total how many employees are there in the database? Second time, this page size is going to indicate out of this 100 employees, which employees to be, right, how many employees to be returned? 10 employees. But again, which 10 employees? That is going to be decided by the page number. If page number 1, that first 10 employees. If page number 2, then it is going to be 11 to 20. If page number 5, it is going to be, right, 1 to 50. So accordingly. So here the list of employees can be different, total count can be different. So don't be confused that I'm returning total count as 10, but list employee count, right? I'm going to return 5 employees. That is possible. Clear? Yes
No,
or
it's
no?
not clear. No.
Right now.
The
Now this
total
is
count,
also
Pana, the employees in initial time, the total count will be the same because the employee, supposing is 20, the total count will be 20 or not.
so what is this page number? Page size. What
Each
is
page,
the page size?
pagination, yeah, the page size is the number of the
What is
pages.
the use of this page
The
size?
size, like 10, 10, 10. For example, if
Not
you have
10,
4
10,
times,
10. Not, have you ever implemented paging in any of your application?
Not really.
Then wait, don't ask this right unnecessary questions. It doesn't make any sense. So what is this page size I have mentioned? And how many employee to be written? So based on your filter condition, there might be 100, there might be 1,000 employees. So do I need to return this 1,000 employee to the client? No. So how many employees to be written? That is going to be decided by the page size. If the client required only 10 employees, then and the filter what he provided that going to be right filter 100 employees. So do I need to return 100? No. Only the page size what the client is mentioned. So here the total count is going to be 100, but you are going to return only 10 employees. How it is going to be possible? How it is working? I will show you this thing practically. But before that, I'm going to ask you one important interview question. What is the difference between the I enumerable and the I corable? And some real-time scenarios. Can anybody answer this question? What is the difference between I enumerable and I corable?
iQueryable executes queries on the server side, and it uses the large data sets so that we get the good performance. And IEnumerable is in memory, and it works on the
Exactly.
collections of which stored in the in memory.
Basically,
So it,
yeah, understand. So let me give you the clarity. So what is the difference between I enumerable and I corable? So here, so whenever I write, suppose I want to fetch some employees data, right? Suppose I want to fetch some employees data. So in that case, right, the filter whatever you are going to apply, the filter whatever you are going to apply. So do I need to execute this filter on the database side? Suppose in the context that employees. So there are 1,000 employees are there, and here I'm applying some filter, right? That filter I want to execute on the database side, or that filter I want to execute on the application side. So what is the difference? Difference is that if you are using iCoreable means it is going to execute the filter condition on the database. After applying the filter condition, whatever the employee's information, that is going to be returned from the database. At the same time, instead of I as corable, if I'm going to use I enumerable, right, then what will happen? Now, in that case, it will retrieve all the employee data from the database to our application, and in our application, it is going to apply the filter conditions. So in that case, which one is going to give you better performance? Executing the filter on the database side, return the filtered employees, or return all the employees to our application and then apply the filter in our application, which is going to give you better performance,
iQueryable.
right? And again, then do I need to, right? So that is the reason why I'm using the here iCoreable. Why? Now, whenever you are going to apply the filter, if you want to ensure that filter should and must be executed on the database side, then you have to use iQueryable. Then when to use iEnumerable? If you are working with in-memory data. Getting my point? If you are going to work with in-memory data, then you need to use right iEnumerable. So let us try to understand this thing. So
But
here guys,
sir, but in this case, we are passing page number as a variable. So query should execute on the client side, na sir? So for that purpose, we need to I enumerable, sir, na?
see, first of all, you have to remember. So, how many data you want to return, that is secondary thing. So here, page number and page size is different, and this is different. So, if you want to use this page number and page size, right, then in that case, right, you can also make use of right offset page take and skip. You know what is the use of a take and skip functionality, and I think in SQL Server there is something called take and skip option is there. See, so what is the use I'm going to tell you, right? So whenever I use this I as a corable, so in this case, right? So in this case, what will happening? Now in this case, the query is not executing. So here, what exactly it is doing? It is exactly preparing the query. Getting my point?
yes.
So here it is preparing the data. Now I want to append the query dynamically. So how? Now is the user provided the search term? Yes. If the user provided the search term, then append that query to the query, right? Append that condition to the query where full name contains this one. Is the user provided the department ID? Department ID as value and department value is greater than 0. Okay. Then we apply this filter condition. If the user provided the employee type ID, yes, it provided. Okay, let me append that filter condition also to my query. So here when I'm using I queryable, at this point of time, the query is not executed. The query is not executed. The query is only prepared. And once the query is created here, then we can modify the query. So whatever conditions you want to apply dynamically, you can apply it here. So once your query is created, right? Once your query is created, then here what I'm doing here, please observe query.count async. So when I execute this count async method, so basically it is going to execute the it is going to execute this query in the database. It is going to execute the query in the database and it is going to return a single value. So based on this query, how many records are satisfied? That is going to be my total count. Clear till now?
Yes.
But this query.count async, it is not going to return me the data. So this is going to my total count. Then what I'm doing here, now here I'm again on this query. So I'm executing the skip method, take method to list async method. So this basically going to execute the query in the database and it is going to write to skip this number of employee. It is going to take this number of employee and all these things are going to be executed on the database. So here the total count you might get 20. But here, right, you will get the number of employees you want to retrieve. Clear?
But why do you skip page number -1?
So this logic you just right, you just figure out what we mean by this skip -1. So if I'm passing the page number 1, do I need to skip any element from the beginning? So first of all, you just tell me, do you know the use of a skip and a take or not? If you know, then I will explain.
Sure. Yeah, I know.
So skip means what?
You don't take it, you skip it.
So skip means what? So how many records you want to skip from the beginning? At what it is going to take? For the page number 1, how many records I need to skip?
Nothing.
In that case, if page number 1 minus 1, 0 into page size. What is the meaning of a 0 into page size? So 0 into multiply anything, it is going to be 0. So it is basically going to skip 0. If you pass the page number 2 and page size rate at 20, then how many records it needs to write skip and how many records it needs to return?
If you pass to is 1 times the page size.
First 20 record it should skip, next 20 record it should take, right?
Yeah.
So here 2 minus 1, what is the value 2 minus 1? 1. 1 into 20. So it is going to skip 20 record and it is going to take 20 records. So this logic I'm not here to explain. So you should know this, right? So because this is very simple and basic. And if I'm going to explain this basic logic, right, it is going to take more time. And finally, whatever the employees and what is the total count of employees, that is what I'm returning to the right caller of this method. So here we are preparing the query, not executing. Here we are simply retrieving the what I can say the count, and then here I'm executing the query which is going to return me the data. So here you can see this is an integer value, and here this is going to be list of employees. Clear, guys? Anyone having any question? Okay. So now this is, can anybody tell me what is the use of this department designation and include? What is the use of this include method?
Eager loading.
Eager loading. So basically, whenever I'm loading the employee data, please load the corresponding department designation and employee type informations. Right? Yeah. So that is what. If you need this information, load this information. If you don't need, then don't load, right? For example, in my case, right, whenever I'm displaying, you don't need this information. You can make a comment on this, right? So now, so get the employee by ID. So what I'm doing here, I'm fetching the employee data. Also, I'm including the department designation and the employee type. And here I'm using first default async method. And here right? One more thing I need to do here, guys, remember, I can make use of as no tracking. So here it is only for the displaying purpose. Here also it is only for the displaying purpose. So what I can do is I can make use of as no tracking for to improve the performance. So this is going to create a new employee, right? The context that step changes. This is going to update the employee ID, whatever the employee that state it is going to modify it. And this is for deleting one employee. So this is going to delete the employee. And here it is going to return me the list of what I can say. So it is going to return me the list of departments. So you can make use of this one, return this one. This is going to return me the list of, right, what I can say, right, list of employee types. So whatever the all employee type. And this is going to return me the selected designations by department ID. Whichever department ID you selected, that corresponding designations it is going to return. And in this case, these DTOs or this data, whatever we are returning, it is for the right read-only purpose. So read-only purpose to improve the performance. What I need to do, I need to use the as no tracking. Why I'm using as no tracking? Because these entities are not going to be tracked by the DP context. And when the DP context is not tracking any entity, definitely it is going to improve the overall application performance. So to improve the performance, I'm using this one. Clear?
Yep.
Right. So this is going to be my right service class. Next, what I need to do, I need to create my right controller class. So before controller class, let me store the connection string. So what I'm going to do is within my app settings.json file, right, employee portal. Okay, so we have already created this employee portal DB. So let me first delete this one. Okay, so it is going to create a database employee portal DB, and inside that database, it is going to create the tables. Then what I need to do next? Next, I need to create my employee controller, where I need to create the controller within the controllers folder. So let me go ahead and create a class file. That class file name is employee controller. So inside this class file, let me create some views. Sorry, action method. And once the action methods are created, then I will create some views. So let us proceed step by step. So first of all, right, I'm injecting my employee service. Why I'm injecting my employee service? Because I want to perform the operation. I want to fetch the data. I want to add a new employee. I want to update employee. I want to delete employee. I want to fetch the right informations, right, like the master data. So for this purpose, I need this employee service class. So that is what I'm injecting here. So this is my list method. So this list method taking search, selected department ID, right? Selected employee type ID, the page number, page size, all this information it is taking. Then, right, and whatever the data it is taking, right, then based on this data, it is calling the get employees method, which we have just right, discussed. So here it is returning two thing information. One is employees, list of employees, and this is the total count. Here employee is going to be list of employee, total count it is going to be the integer type. Now what I need to do, I need to create my right employee list view model. So employee data, yes, I'm having this employee data. Page number, whatever the page number, right? For example, here you can see, right? So here you can see the page number I'm getting as input. Total pages means what? Now total pages means how many pages? Suppose the total count is 100 and the page size is 5. Then total number of pages is how much? That 100 divided by 5. That is the total count divided by page size. That is going to my total pages. So whatever the search term the user is provided, whatever the selected department ID, selected employee the user is provided, that what I'm passing. Then what I'm doing here, I'm storing the list of employees by calling this get employee async method and storing the list of employee type by calling this one. So here I'm storing the list of departments and the list of employees, which is going to be render the drop down list inside the view. And then I'm passing this view model to the corresponding view. So next what I need to do is I need to create this list view. So let me go ahead and create this list view. So right click, add view, razor view empty. The view name is going to be list view list.cshtml, and click this one. So for this view, what should be the model, guys?
Employee view model.
So in this case, the view model is going to be employee list view model, right? So let me go ahead and do this thing, right? So this is my employee list view model now. So now in this case, right, let me open this document also right now. So in this case, you can see this is item per page. So this is going to be a drop down list. Inside this drop down list, what options I'm going to show? 3, 5, 10, 15, 20, whatever. So for that purpose, right, I'm creating this variable. So whichever are the options, right, I mean the number of page number, that what I'm going to provide a drop down list, and the values are going to be 3, 5, 10, 15, and 20. So this is the variable, or you can say list of integer storing the items, right, for the page number drop down list. Clear or no?
Yes.
Yes.
And this view data dot title, it is going to store some temporary message, and this temporary message is going to be set by the right update action method and the delete action method. When you update an employee, whatever message you set, that is going to be displayed here. Whenever you delete an employee, whatever message you set, that is going to be displayed here. So this is going to my heading, and here you can see uh, this view data data title is nothing but this one. So whatever the title I set here, that is going to display. And whatever the message I have discussed, right, once the update and the delete operation is completed, for that purpose, I'm not using a view data. I'm going to use a temp data, because temp data is going to hold the data, right, for redirection. So here, the temp data is going to hold the data. So whatever message you set, if this is not null or empty, that message it is going to display. So this is going to my filter section. So in the filter section, model.employees.count. So this model.employees.count, is this going to give you the correct answer? So in this case, so this count, it is going to give you the correct answer. Yes or no? Yes or no? So in this case, what is total count and what is this employee? So is this going to be same?
No.
No, no.
Then which one is going to give you the total count, correct count?
Total count.
The total
So
count.
are we returning total count as part of the view model?
No.
No. So in this case, what I need to do here, I'm going to create one variable, page number, right? So here, this is going to be total. So this total is going to hold the total number of employees. So here, what I can do is, so here, this total, it it is going to be this total count. Clear? And this total, whatever we set here, that what we need to set here. Instead of this, I can write this one. Clear?
Yes.
If I'm using employees.count, then what will happen? Now, how many number of employees are returned by the query? I mean by the database. So that is what that count it is going to display. So which is not going to make any right. I mean, you will not get the clarity. So here the total is going to be the total number of employees filtered based on the filter criteria, not how many employees are returned. So that return is depending on the right page size, not on the total count. So again, so this is my filter condition. So here you can see in the UI, this is going to be a button, and these are the form elements. So all these four things, right, whatever I'm showing, it should be part of the form. And here it is the button. When you click, so it should submit the data to the same list action method. So here you can see the right, this is one form, and this form is handle the get request. And when this form is submitted, right, you should see that filter button, right? When this filter button is submitted, it will submit the data. And guys, remember, this is nothing but a tag helper. So tag helper means these are the advanced version of a HTML helper. right? So HTML helper means there you can consider HTML helper as nothing but extension method. So the way you are using the C# method, that is nothing but HTML helper. But the tag helper means the way you are working with HTML in the same way, right? You are not going to write any or call any method, but still you can implement the server side code. So here this ASP controller, it is a tag helper, which is going to tell what is the controller name. ASP action is going to tell what is the action method name. So in this case, when I click on this filter button, it will submit the data to the list action method of employee controller, which is decorated with the get attribute. So in this case, is this the get method of the employee controller? Yes, so this list method is the get version of the method, which is going to be part of the employee controller. So when I invoke this, when I click on this button, it will be handled by this method. So, and when it is handling this method, right, whatever the filter conditions, you can see what is the search term. So whatever, and guys, remember here, so this ASP for, it is a tag helper. Using this tag helper, you can specify the model property. So what is the model you used here? That property you can set. For example, in our model, so the model is going to be employee list view model. In this model, do you have a search term property? Yes. So that is what you can specify here. So do you have search term to property? No. Is there any search term to property inside this view model? No. So immediately you will get the compilation error. So you can only specify the properties which are available as part of the model. So that is, you can see search term, right? So this is going to render a label, and this is going to render a input element. Input means input type text. So that text is going to be rendered. And which text in this case? This is the search by name text. So you can see search by name, and this is the text, and this is the placeholder, whatever we provided, that is type A name. This one is clear?
Yep.
Yes or no? Okay. Now we need to understand this department drop-down list, employee type drop-down list, and how the default value is going to be set. So in this case, this is the label. Label means this one. Label means this department. So this is the label we have provided. And for creating a drop-down list, which HTML element I need to use? I need to use a select HTML element. And here, within this select HTML element, I have specified ASP for. ASP for means for which property this input element is for, selected department ID. And for this drop-down list, what is the items? The items is nothing but you have to provide one select list. So here I'm providing new select list. And what is the collection which hold the list of a department? Model that department. What is the text value and what is the corresponding value? And this is the display. This is the actual value which is going to be submitted to the rate, what I can say, server, and this is the value that is going to be displayed in the UI. So this name is going to, whatever the name, right, inside this model property. So if you go to this model, so here you should see there are two properties. One is ID and another one is name. So whatever the ID, this is the value which I'm going to submit. This is the name, that is what I'm going to display. So this ID, it is going to submit it, and this ID value means whichever whichever element you selected, that ID it is going to submit, and this is only for the displaying purpose. And then and this selected department ID, basically here it is going to render all the department. It is going to render all the department. But which departments to be selected by default? That is going to be selected by this selected department ID. If you provided any particular department, that department is going to be selected. If this department value is not available, null, then in that case, right, the default option that is going to be displayed, and in that case you can select any of the department, right? I'll show you this thing practically. And the same thing I'm doing for the employee type ID. Then this is the page size. I mean, here you can see this is my page size, and for the page size, the data is coming from here. The data is coming from there. What is the page number? That what you want to say. But here I'm not specifying the ID and the name. Why? Because the same value. So here, what is the ID? That is also going to be the value. And then this is my submit button. So when I click on the submit button, it will submit this data to the employee controller. In the employee controller, whatever the search term value, that will be stored here. Whatever the selected department ID, whatever the department ID you selected, that will be captured by here. Whatever the right, what I can say, uh, employee type you selected, that will be stored here. And here you can see what is the page number by default. I'm not passing any page number here. So when I submit this one here, I'm not passing any page number. So that page number is going to be by default 1, and page size equals to default is 5. But here, if you specify any page size, that is also going to be right stored inside this variable, and that many number of employees it will return to the file. So here, this page number is not for this purpose. So this page number will come to this picture when you click on the first, previous, next, last. At that time, that page number will come into the picture. So till now, this filter part is clear.
Yes.
Right. Now, so again, whatever the filtered employee, that what I want to display in a table. So this is going to my table header. This are going to be my table data. And in the actions header, I want to provide 3 buttons. Let us do. So this is going to my table header. This is going to my table data. I'm checking if any employees model that employees is not null and the count is greater than 0, right? Then go ahead and then do this one, right? For each employee, I'm looping through for each employee, displaying the name, email, designation, department, gender. So employee dot designation dot name, employee dot department dot name. Here you can see I'm accessing the corresponding designation, department, and employee type. So this value will only be available if you load them. So for example, here you can see I have not included. Not included means this data is not going to be there. So what I need to do, I need to include them. So once I include them, then what will happen? Then I can access the corresponding name. Clear? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
Right, then I'm having this details right button, edit button, delete button. So this button is not there. I'm showing some right icon, but once you click on this first icon, that is going to the details. So in that case it will submit, right? If you are getting confusion, so what I'm doing here, I'm also providing the controller name. That controller name is going to be employee. So this is by default, it will take employee, but if you want, you can also specify. So in this case, what will happen? Now, when you click on this details, it will pass the corresponding employee ID to the details action method of an employee controller. When you click on the edit, it will pass the employee ID to the update method of the employee controller. And when you click delete, it will pass that corresponding employee ID to the delete method of the employee controller. Clear? If no employees are there, then it is going to display no employees found. This part is clear? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
The last one, that is going to be the right pagination one. So let us try to understand. So in this case, right, pagination case, right, you can see in the employee list view, so we are having this page size, page number, and total pages. So this total pages is there, page number is there, page size is there. So now what I need to do, I need to check what is the current page number. The default page number 1, or you have selected any page number. If page number 1 is selected, right, then this is going to be the first and right, first and previous are not enabled. So if you are in the current page number, I mean, if you are in the page number 1, can you click on the first and previous button? Is that allowed?
No.
Yes or no?
No.
So if you are in the page number 1, if I click on the previous and first, which page I need to display? That is the first page I am already displaying. So if page number is 1, then you have to disable these two things. That is what I'm saying here. If page number equals to 1, then first and previous are going to be disabled. Clear?
Yes.
Yes.
If it is not page number 1, let assume it is page number 2, 3, 5, whatever. If it is 2, 3, 5, then in that case, do I need to enable these two things, first and previous?
Yes.
So first means it should be the first page number, that page number equals to 1. Previous is nothing but what is the current page number minus 1. Clear? Previous is nothing but whatever your current page number minus 1. That is what I'm doing here. So here you can see. So when you first means what is the page number 1. So get route value. So I have created one method which is going to return the data. And this first means when you click on this first button, so it will submit to this list employee, right, list action method of employee controller by passing the corresponding data. So get route data. What is the data? I will show you. So in this case, right, you can see the page number is going to be 1. And if you click on this right previous button, then whatever the page number, current page number minus 1. Clear? So that might be, so sometimes if the page number is 2, if you click first and previous, it will display the first page data. Why? The first means page number 1, previous means current page number minus 1. So here you can say for first it is page number 1 and previous means what is the current page number minus 1. Clear?
Yes.
And this get route values means it is going to set the data for these 5 properties, right? So now if you go to the definition, right, the get route data, then you will see it is taking the page number, it is creating the instance, what is the source term from the model, what is the department, employee type ID, page name, page size. So from the model, it is creating the object, and that object it is returning here, and that object it will pass to the corresponding action method. Clear? Right. So now once your first page and previous is done, then we need to display this current page number. So this is nothing but your current page number. What is the page number? And then we need to check, right? If model dot page number equals to model dot total pages, right? Let's assume there are a total 5 pages, and currently we are showing the page number 5. If total pages number, total 5 pages are there, and currently we are showing the 5 page, right, page number 5, do I need to enable the next and last?
No.
No. So in that case we need to disable these two things. That is what I'm doing here. If page number equals to total pages, then we need to disable this next and last. Otherwise what I need to do, otherwise what is the last is nothing but your total pages. So whatever the total pages, that will be your last, right? So model dot total pages. And what will be the next? Next is nothing but your total, right, current page number plus 1. So that is nothing but a model dot page number plus 1. Here it is 1. Here it is the model dot total pages. Here page number minus 1. Here page number plus 1. And this is the right current page number. Clear or not? Clear or not?
Yes.
Guys,
Yeah.
is that clear or not?
Clear, sir. Clear,
Yep.
sir. Clear.
Okay. Now let us try to understand the remaining part, right? So we have created this create view. So next what I need to understand is the other things, right? So now, not the create view, we have not yet created the create view. Now, so once this is done, the user can click on the create button. So when the user click on the create button, right, what I need to do, I need to render this page. So here, this is full name, email ID. So select department, select designation. These two drop-down list I need to provide it. Higher date of birth is fine. And this employee type ID, right? Sorry. So this department and employee type drop-down list value I need to provide it. Based on the department ID, I need to right. I need to provide the designation. And here, guys, remember two things I need to make you understand. This full name, department ID, designation, employee type ID. Does it make any sense? Or we can provide some better naming convention? Right? So let us try to change this one. So for example, I don't want to display full name, right? So I want to display that name as a full name. So I can provide this a display attribute. What is the name? So department. So here instead of a department ID, I want the form to be displayed as a department. Similarly, instead of a designation ID, I want the display name is going to be designation. So higher date we have done, date of birth we have done. So for employee type ID, so I need to provide that employee type. That is fine. Gender, max value. So all these things, rest of the things are fine. So now So in this case, right, what I need to do, guys, remember department, I need to pre-populate, employee type, I need to pre-populate. Can I pre-populate this designation ID?
No, depending on the department ID,
Because
then we can
it
select that.
depends on the, exactly, it depends on the department. So basically, whenever I select a particular department, by taking that department ID, I need to make a right Ajax query from my UI to my application, which will pass the department ID, which will return the number of designations, and that designation we need to populate here. Clear? So now let us proceed and do this thing. So here you can see my department is populated, my employee types is populated. While I'm creating, do I need to provide any selected department designation? Not required. While I'm creating, I don't need this thing because that is going to be provided by the user. And any designation here, you can see I'm passing my empty designation. Why? Because I cannot call that a designation, right? Because I don't have the selected department ID. So by taking this, I'm going to pass to this corresponding view. So let us proceed and create this view. So add view, right? And before that, I just want to make you one thing, right? One more thing. So here you can see I'm having this get designation, right, action method, which is not returning a view, rather than it is returning a JSON result. So other things you can see it is returning a view, but here what exactly it is returning? It is returning task of a JSON result. So basically it is going to return me some JSON data. So it will take the department ID. Based on the department ID, it is fetch the designations, and then it is creating the select list item, and where it is specifying, right, creating an anonymous object where the value is going to be ID and the display text is going to be the right name. So that ID and name it is populating, and that is what it is returning from this one. So this ID and name I will handle within the view using jQuery Ajax. So from my view, once the particular department is selected, on the selected department change event, I will create one JSON Ajax query, I mean Ajax method, and that method is going to invoke this one. This will return me the list of our departments, and that list of a department I want to populate within this selected designation. Clear? Based on the selected department, I need to populate this one. For this purpose, I need to invoke this get designation method from the view. How you can call this? Let us try to observe. So this is going to my create view. Okay, now. So let us try to observe. So this is very simple. First name, email, department. Till now, we should not have any query. So this is my first name text box. And here also I'm adding this span validation for means what? Now, whenever there is some issue related to this full name, so that error message is going to be displayed here within this div. Similarly, this is email, right? For this input element email, the corresponding error message it is going to display here. So this is my department ID. If any particular department ID is selected, that will be selected by default. Otherwise, this department data it is going to display. And here also any error message related to department ID that is going to be displayed here. So designation ID, if any particular designation is selected, that will be there. Otherwise, it will right face the designation model that designation, which is by default going to be empty. So this is my hire date. This is my date of birth. This is my employee type ID. Again, model that employee type. So why I'm using model that employee type? Here you can see I'm passing that model that employee type. So if you see set view model that department designation, not this one. So this is the department and employee type I have provided, and that model that department model that employee ID I'm using. Right. So this is going to my gender, some hard-coded data I have provided, and then this is my salary, and this is going to my submit button. Once I click on the submit button, it will submit the data, right? But here, one thing that what we need to handle is when a particular department is selected, we need to populate this designation drop-down list. And for this purpose, right, what I have done here, I have written this a method, right? So this load designation means what? Two things. So here you have to remember two things. One is the department drop-down change event. So whenever I change a particular department value, I need to populate. So basically on the department ID change event, I'm firing this method. So exactly what it is going to do, it will take the current department ID $t.value, whichever dropdown is changed, right? For this particular dropdown, whatever the current value that department ID it take, and then it calls this load designations department ID method. So this load designation is nothing but this one. So what exactly it is doing? It is taking the department ID and selected designation ID. So currently I don't have any selected designation ID in this case. So here you can see I'm passing the department ID and the designation ID is null. So in that case, this is null. So what exactly it is doing? If department ID is available, if you provided any department ID, then it is going to do this thing. Otherwise, what exactly it is going to do? It is going to empty, right? For example, if you select any particular department whose value is not exist, for example, you just change the select department, then in that case, it is also going to empty the designation department, designation drop down list. So once you have the department ID, then you can invoke the action method, that is get designation. So here you can see I have created that action method, get designation, and then whatever the department ID I'm passing. So on successful, so it is creating ready, it is accessing that designation drop down list, and on this drop down list, first of all it will empty that drop down list. Then it is going to append this first option, that is selected designation. Then it will loop through all the data, and one by one it is going to check if the selected department is this one. If it is this one, then selected. Otherwise, it is going to append this one. So this will come into the picture when I will tell you. Right? For example, so when this selected department, selected designation will come into the picture. See. So in this case, right, you selected all this thing, you provided one particular department, you also provided one particular designation and submit the data. Let's assume there is some issue in the date of birth, or there is some issue in the email field. Then again, it is going to pre-populate this form with the error message. But when it is going to pre-populate the create form with validation error messages, so whatever the existing data, they should be kept as it is. So in that case, whatever the department ID, designation ID we selected, that should be there, and that for that purpose, right, we are using this one. So if whatever the value we retrieve from the database, if that is selected, then that is going to be here, right? So we'll see this one also, right, in detail, right? So in that case, other option is also available. What is that other options? Right, for example, so let assume this is the list of our designations. So in this case, so this designation is also there, right? So we are also right, fetching the data, right? So in this case, this is going to create the employee, and then when the employee data is submitted, this create port method is going to be there. It is going to create a new employee, and then it is going to redirect to the success page. If there is some issue, then again it is going to fetch the employees department and the corresponding designations, and then it will pass this data to the corresponding view, right? So next one is going to be our update method, not update method. Next one is going to be our success method. So let me proceed and create the success page. So redirect to action success. This is a very simple page. Once the employee is created, that employee details we need to display something like this. So this page is nothing but this one, right? So whatever the employee data I'm taking, that employee data I'm right filling with some ERTD element. Here I'm providing two options: to create a new employee or go back to the previous employee. So create another employee, go back to the previous, right back to the employee list. So these two options I'm showing here: create a new employee and back to the employee list, right? Next one is the details page, right? So now if you look at this thing, right, if you look at this thing, Once the employee is created, if you want to see that employee details information, right, then in that case, you can call this the details action method by passing the employee ID. So here, whatever the employee ID, that data it is retrieving, and then it is passing that data to the corresponding view. So let me go ahead and create this details view also. So it is going to display the employee details information. So how it is going to display? It is going to display something like this, whatever the all the employee data, update, delete, and back to list button. So this is my employee data. So this is my email designation. So all the employee information it is display, and also it is going to have a three button. So three anchor element. And when you click on the update button, it will invoke the update action method. When you click on the delete button, it will invoke the delete action method. When you click on the back to list, it will invoke the list action method of the employee controller. Now, next what I need to understand, I need to understand the update view. Suppose you click on the update button. Then if you click on the update button, whatever the employee ID, you can click from here, or you can click from the index page, right? Index page from here. So when you click on the update button, then it is going to be handled by the update action method, which is taking the employee ID. So here what exactly it is doing, right? It is taking the employee ID, and if employee ID is null, it is going to return not found. Otherwise, it is pre-populating the employee data. So whatever the existing employee information, that is, it is pre-populating and red calling the corresponding view. This is going to be exactly same as the create view. This is going to be same as the create view, except here it is going to store, except here it is going to store the employee ID in the hidden field. Otherwise, rest of the things are going to be common, same, right? Only the difference here is it is going to store the employee ID in the hidden field, which is not available in the create case. So here you can see whatever the existing employee ID, that is what I'm storing in the hidden field, and this is not available in the create case. So in the create page, we don't have the employee ID, and it makes sense because here we are creating a new employee. Here we are updating one employee. If I'm updating an employee, then which employee to be updated? That employee ID I'm storing in the hidden field, right? Then the delete view. Suppose you click on the delete view, right? And again, this is the update post action method. Same thing it is also doing here. So this is the delete view, which is going to filter, right, paste the data from the database, and then it is going to hand over this data to the view, which is going to give you the confirmation message, right? So, are you sure you want to delete the employee? So, and then, right, only it is going to delete the employee if you click yes. So this is going to my delete page. So here you can see whatever the existing employee information are issued, whatever the employee name, employee data, and here you can see two options. One is delete and another one is cancel. If you click cancel, it will go back to the list page. If you click delete, then it will submit this delete, right? It will submit the data to this delete confirm action method. So here, first of all, it is checking whether the employee exists. If it exists, then only it is calling the delete employee method to delete the employee permanently from the database. So this is how it is executed. Finally, what I need to do, I need to modify the layout page. Right, layout page means to give you a better looks and feel, right? Having proper header, having proper footer, right? What I'm going to do, I'm going to modify the layout page. So layout page means it is the master page you can consider, or the common page, which is going to give you a better user interface. So here I'm going to use some kind of a heading, right? I'm going to provide some kind of options to select. I'm going to provide some drop down list, right? So these are the, right, some domain drop down list I have provided, not implemented, and also I'm providing some, right, a link to show some informatic, that is whatever your URL and all this thing for your social media accounts. Then finally what I need to do, I need to modify the program class. So the program class, you can see here a very common thing, right? Here you have registered your DB context. Here you need to register your employee service, and here you need to specify which one is going to be the index space. In this case, the list action method of the employee controller. Once this is done, right, let's build the solution to see whether it is working fine or not. Build succeeded. Next, what I need to do? I need to generate the migration file. So go ahead, write add migration, add migration. Then update the database. Okay. So once this is done, let me run the application to see whether it is working fine or not. See, so total how many employees are there? 15 employees. How many employees it is showing in the page? See here you can see this is my employee portal. So this is my home employee list, add employee. If you click on the add employee, that is selected, that page is coming. If you click home list, it is coming. If you click home, that is the home page index, home index. So this is employee list, right? You can see this is the admin who is performing the operation. This is not implemented profile setting logout, right? That is what we are going to discuss, right? In some time means after few days when I discuss the identity, I will discuss this thing, right? Now this is my employee list. You can create a new employee. Here, this is employee filter. Total how many employees are there, that count it is showing. And what is the current page size? That is 5. So here you can see 5 employees are shown. So here you can see this first and the previous are disabled. Next and last is there. So last, right, when I click on the last, you can see this is coming.
Sir,
And
sorry, my question is, but how to decide page number? Example, I hit bank database customer inquiry, and I get 50,000 of record, and so first time I hit inquiry service for 50,000 record, then I gave him the pagination of 100 record of pagination. I think one shot 100 record. So
yes,
so first I hit count, take a count, no, sir, first time.
yes, that is
Okay,
what we are doing now.
okay.
So here you can see first I just get the count, how many employees are
Mm-hmm.
there. Then only based on the filter, how many employees, which employees to be returned, that's what I'm
Okay.
fetching from the database.
Okay, so I put filter in column base on
Column,
column, sir.
column means
So so please, if any example is not a amount, if example I put one field amount, and
hey, okay.
I
So see, there is no filtered amounts based on our
okay,
database.
example.
Let us take this one. Suppose I
Okay.
want to fetch the IT department data,
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
And
sir.
my employee size is 3. So
Mm-hmm.
IT department, and I just filter the data. So here, how many
Mm-hmm.
employees it return? 3. Total, how many employees are there?
Yes. And also I want some filtering department. Example, maybe one amount field is available. So I click on amount. If amount is greater than 5,000, then first row is coming, and then second row is coming. So I can do, sir.
So exactly what amount greater than 100 word? I'm not getting whatever your query.
No,
Does
no.
anyone understand what is his query exactly?
For example, now is 3 record is coming.
See,
Example one.
don't take that bank example. Whatever example we are developing right now, in this
Mhm.
example, please try to explain whatever your query.
I said, this example is not query, but in my mind, if one more column in real scenario, if one more column for amount, and I want to click on amount label button and sorting the data, ascending and descending order.
Basically, you want one column, right?
Mm.
For example, that amount column, and your requirement is that you want to sort the data based on
Yes,
that
is
column.
ascending descending. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that is what we are going to discuss right in our upcoming example. See here,
Okay,
I
sir.
have not
Okay, sir.
introduced that sorting example. You just need to tell sorting. That is fine. So you can take one column, right, or you want to provide data how the data is going to be sorted. And that condition you can specify sort by ascending order, descending order, sort by name, sort by
Okay,
right
okay, sir.
salary, right, whatever. That is possible. That is not an issue. That sorting is
Okay,
not right implemented here. Only filter
okay,
is
okay,
there,
sir.
right?
Okay, sir.
See, here you can see you can sort the data, right? For example, I want to select the permanent employee. So here you can see 2 employees are permanent. Now click on this filter. So here you can see only 3 employees are there, which are permanent in IT. Suppose I selected all department and click on this one. So here you can see total 8 employees are there, which are under the permanent. So now I just click on the intern filter. So only one intern is there, right? So now let assume I want to select all the employees. So this is the data. So it is working. See, each time you execute, it is refreshing the page, right? So refreshing the page means it is fetching the data from the database and it is displaying here. Clear? See, first
Yes, sir.
means
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
one is there, two is there, right? This is there, this is there. Clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No problem, sir. Example is clear, sir.
Right? So now, so how this filter is working clear? See, in this case, whenever I select a particular department, right? For example, I have not selected. So when I click on this button, right? In that case, what will happen? What will happen in this case? So it will submit the data to the same method. But here, that selected department is not. So let assume, so this one, and click on this one. So here you can see selected department is not, selected employee ID is not. So what exactly it means? As this is a null, right? So it is not going to render, right, any selected information. Now I selected IT and I selected temporary. So these two things I provided and click on this button. So now you will see selected department ID is 1, selected employee type ID is equal to 2. So what exactly it means? It means when it render the page, whatever the selection we provided, that is also there. So currently there is no employee with this option, right? Let us assume this permanent. So now click on this one. So here you can see it is not only displaying the data, but whatever the previous options, they are going to be available as it is, right, in the filter condition. And this is because, and how we are achieving this? Now by using this selected property type, selected employee type ID property in the view model. So these two properties, whatever we created, they are meant for keeping the existing value after filtration. Clear? And for this complete drop down list value, we are using this list. Clear, guys? Who is providing this message to me again and
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
right now? So this page is clear, everybody?
Yes.
Right? So you can make this right look more beautiful. Some static content is there, right? Some right icon is also there. So this icon are implemented correctly, right? If you click on this one, it will open my LinkedIn account, right? Similarly, if you click on this one, it will Facebook. This is Telegram. This is WhatsApp. This is YouTube, right? So this link is already implemented. Uh, you can check this one, right? How you can. This is not a rocket science. Very simple. So now, if you see there are 3 buttons. One is this view details. If you click on this, you can see the current employee information is there. Now click on this back button, you will be come to the right same list page. So now, right, what I want to do is I want to create a new employee. So you can come to this one. So let's create a new employee. See, currently you can see designation. Is there any designation selected provided by default?
No.
Yes or no? No. So
No.
now I selected IT. I selected IT. Then once I select IT, the corresponding designation it is showing. Now I selected HR. That corresponding selection, right, department list it is showing. Now what I'm trying to do is I'm giving a future date, 16, higher date. So date of birth, what I'm doing here. So let's give this as a 1/9/85. Okay, let this say 86. So this is my permanent employee. This is my salary. This is my 10,000, right? Whatever. So in this case, this higher date is wrong. So let's see whether we are getting this error message. Am I getting this error message? And whenever it is right rendering, it is also keeping the existing data. So let me give this one right some right 13. So now submit the data. So once you submit, you can see it is created the employee, displayed at employee information. And if you want to see this employee, you can go back to the employee list page. So here you can see a search by the name, that name filter is also there. So you can see this employee is being created. So you can also view that employee information here. If you want to update that employee information, see, I select the selected department. So once I select, you can see designation is changed. Here I selected IT, and here you can see system administrator, and I click on the update. So once I click on the update, you can see it is redirecting to this page, and it is saying that employee with the ID 16 name pronoun has been updated, right? So now let again search for the same employee. So now I want to delete this employee. So click on this delete button. So here you can see it is showing this page. Now click on the delete. If you click cancel, it will redirect you back to the index page. If you click delete, it will delete that employee, and you will see this one. Now search for the same employee. This time you will see there is no employee. No employees found. Clear, guys?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So this is all about our employee portal. Guys, tomorrow we are going to discuss another interesting example. That is the Gmail registration process. If you see, if you ever create any Gmail account or Google account, it is going to be some 8 or 9 steps, right? First, it will ask it, put this thing, then this, then that, then that. Like this, it is taking one by one information. Some of the information provided by Gmail, some of the information Gmail provide, you can choose or you can provide your own. So that is how that is implemented, right? That what we are going to discuss tomorrow. So anyone having any question related to today's session, they can ask.
Yes, sir. I have one small question. Sometime when I create the portal or page, so when you go to AppSec for this portal, that some AppSec guy, this URL is not visible. So that have encrypted the URL. So how to encrypt the URL?
So do you
Because
know the see have you ever see URL? You cannot encrypt the URL. So what you can encrypt, the data what you are passing, that what you can encrypt.
uh,
That's
be- be- because sir,
right. See,
i-
domain name.
uh,
See, domain name you cannot encrypt. For example,
domain
whatever
name is domain name is correct. Search term is
so
correct, but
after domain name, see for example, here what pranay I'm passing, what the selected employee ID, what page size. So these things, whatever I'm passing, these values particularly, these values you can encrypt.
okay, but some consumer want to encrypt the URL ahead of the domain name. Domain name is okay, sir. But after
So
domain
if
name,
see
consumer
after
want to
domain
encrypt
name, that is
the.
what I'm saying now. So whenever you are going with the encryption and the decryption, so you have to remember. So after the domain name, whatever information you are passing, that is nothing but your core string. So basically, after question mark, whatever you pass, that is nothing but your core string,
Yes, sir. Yes,
right?
sir.
Right. So for example, if you go to this one, right? So
Hmm.
right. So it is not showing this one, all right? But you will see, right? Again, it is coming. So basically, what exactly it means that a core string is nothing but the combination of two things. One is key, another one is value. So here you cannot encrypt the search term, because if you encrypt the search term, then how this data will be bind with our action method parameter. But here, whatever value you are passing, that is pranay, right? That is the page size 5, whatever the employee type ID, whatever the department ID. So those values you can encrypt. So encrypting the URL means encrypting the core string values, not the domain name, not the core string keys. Values you can encrypt. So if you have you ever used, are you aware about the encryption and the decryption concept?
Yes, sir. I know encryption decryption, but I can set on global level because every time I
You cannot
encrypt
say,
and decrypt.
so not a global level. So
Hmm.
basically, right, what you need to do, you can create some kind of a middleware, right, which will inspect the
Okay.
URL,
Okay.
right,
Hmm.
and particularly so this encryption, decryption, even at the global level also, it will be very difficult. So you have to do it at the action method level. That will be best.
Okay,
So
sir.
in the
Okay.
action method
I do, sir.
parameter,
I do.
once you receive the parameter, you need to decrypt, and whenever you are going to do some kind of redirection, encrypt the data
Hmm.
and do redirection.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Otherwise, there is another option that is possible. You can
Hmm.
do this at the middleware level.
Hmm. Yes, sir. Yes.
Clear, guys? Anyone having any question, guys?
Sir, we are passing filter into the URL. Suppose we have more number of filters. So is there any other way?
Sorry?
So we are passing this filter into the URL. So if the number of filter increases, so is there any other way to filter
See,
this?
whenever you are doing redirection, there is no other way,
Okay.
right? Other way is possible whenever you are putting the data. Posting the data means, right, you are having, right, some kind of action method, right? For example, one form is there, so you can submit the data. In that case, you can pass the data in the request body. But in this case, this is a simple get method. So get method means there is no such options available. You have to pass the data here like this. Otherwise, what you can do is you can make the method post, right? Get the right, handle the data as part of the form, and in that case, you do not need to pass the data in the core string, right? For example, if I create this form, so in this case, whatever the data I'm submitting, that data will not be passed as part of the URL, as part of the request body. So that is what you need to understand. Clear?
Yes. Okay.
So two way, one is get method, another one is post method. So whichever method you like, right, you can. Anyone else having any question?
Sir, I have one question. Sir, in the
Yes.
view you have written the JavaScripts, right, sir? Directly, why we have not yet written JavaScripts you have written in the views?
See, in this case, right, from the view, how I can communicate or write. For example, have you ever worked with the Angular React applications? Any any experience you have in Angular or React?
No, sir. No, sir. I'm
HTML,
waiting for Angular
HTML.
class.
Have you ever used some kind of a HTML, CSS, JavaScript?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Right? For example, you don't have any server-side technology, right? And you are developing one application using HTML, CSS, JavaScript, which is completely possible. And now you want to consume some services which is provided by some API, right? Some ASP.NET Core Web API application is there. They are providing some services, and those services you want to consume from your application. How you can do this thing?
No.
You are having experience into HTML, CSS,
Yes,
JavaScript.
sir.
Then
Yes,
please
sir. Yes,
answer
sir.
this one.
Yes, sir. I have used the JavaScript. So my question is, instead of using JavaScript, we can directly write the code. Why we are using here?
Where you will write the code? Where you will write the code? That is what I'm asking you. Answer me. If you are saying you can directly write the code, but where? In which file, which location, how? Do you have any idea?
No, sir. No, sir. That's the reason I'm asking, sir. Instead of JavaScript,
So,
is there any other way? Hmm.
so what is the other way? You just tell me without using JavaScript and jQuery, how you can consume the services from the client application. If you're having some HTML file, then without using JavaScript and jQuery, how you can consume the services? That is what I'm asking you.
No idea. No, sir. I don't-
Any possibility, any other approach? You can consume the right the server side services from the client application without using JavaScript and jQuery? No, that is not possible. First of all, you have to remember when this page is render. So currently, I'm in which site? So this page means this is nothing but your client application, and this is code whatever the controller services we have written, that is hosted in the server. So now, whenever my client application, whenever I change this department, I need to populate this designation drop-down list or not.
Yes, sir.
So there are two options. One option, completely post this form to the server. Server will again render with the right corresponding data. Second option, partial post back. So only those portions which need operate make a JavaScript, make Ajax request to the server side, get the data, and populate only this one. So definitely this is going to give you better performance.
Okay, sir.
So here, right, here we are only updating a partial part, right, partial, or you can say partial page of our, right. So only this is required, right? Only we need to update this designation. Then why I should make a complete request to the server?
Okay, sir. Got it.
Right? And this is only possible using JavaScript and jQuery. There's no other options to invoke the server-side method, right, or whatever method you consider, without using JavaScript and jQuery. This is the only option.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Next
sir.
question.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Anyone else having any question, guys?
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, tomorrow session is same time, sir, tomorrow?
Yes, tomorrow is the same time, same link, and we will discuss, right, how to develop Gmail functionality.
Okay, sir, okay.
Yeah. Anyone else having any question, guys?
Hello. Sir, this code, have you hosted any it?
No, no, no.
Okay.
Right, I will host on my website.
Okay.
Right, I will share this code right on my website. You can get from there. Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Otherwise, if you join my
can
YouTube channel, the link will be provided there. If you join my Telegram link, the link will be provided there.
okay.
Yes. Anyone else having any question, guys? Okay. So the right, if any microservices session student join today's session.
Sir,
Yes, sir. Yes,
I am,
sir.
sir. I am also joined.
Okay. Okay. So tomorrow we have a microservices session in the morning, right?
Yes, sir.
And guys, remember, right? If you miss this right sessions, that is fine. Right? It is optional for the microservices student who are attending in the morning time. But don't miss the microservices session, which is that is very, very important.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. Sir, are you sharing this document in the microservice batch group, sir?
No, 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 no. In that batch, I'm not going to share this document. I will share the link.
Okay,
Right?
sir. Thanks.
Where to get this document, that link will be shared.
Thank you, sir.
Right. I'll upload this session right on my YouTube channel. I'll provide the link, but I'll not upload the document on the microservices. So that microservices session makes only related to microservices content and the document will be there, not unrelated. Yes. If you guys want, then you can attend some sessions like this. If I'm discussing something, I feel that it is useful, then I will allow you all guys to join the session.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah. And anyone else having any question?
No, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Good night, sir. Good night.
Thank you, sir.